Are you seeking ways to bring more calm, joy, and meaning into your life? The ancient wisdom of Buddhism may hold the answer. Its timeless teachings provide us with powerful tools to make our lives and the world around us a better place. Buddhism teaches us to be fully present, kind, grateful, and it equips us with tools to navigate difficult times with a tranquil mind and a warm heart. It shows us how to transform our lives by applying these teachings in our everyday experiences, finding joy in the little things, and staying resilient when times get tough. Let the teachings of Buddha resonate with you today. Open your heart to a better life, to find the enduring happiness we all yearn for. One of the most valuable teachings that Buddhism offers us is the practice of gratitude and appreciation. These virtues act as magical lenses that allow us to appreciate the small wonders that life gifts us with every day. Cultivating a grateful heart tunes us into what truly matters and fills us with joy at the simplest gifts, whether it's a radiant sunset, a pleasant conversation, or a warm hug. That's why gratitude and appreciation are powerful. They help us see and enjoy the good things in our lives, making us happier, healthier, and kinder to ourselves. Thanking for the small moments, like a sunny day or a hug, makes them special. Sharing our gratitude with others strengthens our relationships and spreads positivity. Being grateful, even in difficult times, helps us move forward and maintain hope. When we embrace an attitude of gratitude, our hearts become receptive to seeing the beauty and opportunities that surround us. Cultivating a positive perspective is the perfect complement to the practice of gratitude. Having an optimistic view is like seeing life through sunglasses, spotting the good even in adversities. This outlook doesn't ignore problems but chooses to focus on hope and beneficial possibilities. Believing in ourselves is key to maintaining a positive attitude. It's like having an inner friend who encourages us, telling us that we have the strength to face any challenge. Maintaining a hopeful mindset allows us to see each challenge as an opportunity for personal growth and learning. When we share our positive perspective and knowledge with others, we not only enrich their lives but deepen our own understanding. The exchange of wisdom plants seeds that blossom into a more connected, compassionate, and enlightened community. Furthermore, by adopting this attitude, we open the doors to new possibilities and experiences in our lives. We become more receptive to the opportunities the universe offers us, and we are willing to face challenges with courage and determination. This attitude helps us overcome obstacles and achieve our goals with greater ease and clarity. At the same time, a positive outlook allows us to find joy and beauty in the small things in life. We appreciate the simple and everyday moments and find gratitude in the small blessings that surround us. This ability to find happiness in the ordinary fills us with joy and helps us maintain an optimistic attitude even in difficult times. Sharing what we know with others is a transformative act that goes beyond mere transmission of information. It's about forging meaningful bonds and creating a space where all parties can grow and expand their horizons. When we teach with humility, we end up understanding the concepts we try to explain better ourselves. But even as we rejoice in the blessings of teaching and learning in community, it is wise to acknowledge that we all need an enlightened guide to show us the way to ultimate realization. Just as a traveler in darkness longs for the light of a torch, our souls crave the clarity that only an enlightened mentor can provide. A true mentor not only shares knowledge, but also instills in us unwavering faith in our potential to attain enlightenment. They gaze upon our latent strengths with loving eyes and remind us of our innate Buddha nature, encouraging us to persevere even when the shadows of doubt darken our steps. The stories and lessons these sages share about their own challenges are precious jewels that we treasure. Each of their words is like a torch that dispels the darkness of suffering, allowing us to glimpse the liberating truth that our obstacles can be the very gates through which enlightenment awaits. For the path to supreme awakening is never devoid of trials and setbacks. It is those very adversities that sculpt our spiritual character and endow us with the strength necessary to proceed with renewed determination. Facing obstacles with tireless perseverance is to temper in the life's purifying fire the virtues that allow us to move from the shadows of suffering toward the radiant light of nirvana. Each challenge we successfully overcome adds another layer to the resilient fabric of our character. These trials serve as poignant reminders that, much like the relentless waves that shape the rugged cliffs, our determination can carve through the harshest adversity, leaving behind a testament to our resilience and strength. Just as the most intricate tapestries are woven from countless threads, our journey is a mosaic of experiences, each contributing to the intricate beauty of our existence. But the path of spiritual awakening not only requires endurance in the face of adversity, but also a mind always open and eager for knowledge. For just as stagnant waters become putrid, a mind closed to continuous learning stagnates in ignorance and withers away. Keeping our minds receptive to new teachings allows the sweet nectars of wisdom to water the gardens of our perpetually renewing being. From the tenderest childhood to the final days, each moment is a valuable opportunity to absorb the springs of transformative knowledge. Making learning a daily practice ingrained in our bones is to receive it not as an onerous duty, but as the fresh air that fans the embers of our restless souls. It is to forge a path of endless discovery, where each new skill or understanding acquired becomes a beacon that disperses the mists of ignorance. And just as we cultivate rich and fertile lands to yield generous fruits, we must also be wise stewards of our material resources. For only by handling our earthly possessions with prudence can we avoid them becoming shackles that bind us to the endless cycles of suffering. Being wise with our money and mindful with our purchases prepares us for a financially stable, happy, and meaningful life. Creating a budget, saving regularly, and carefully considering purchases help us avoid debts and regrets. Wisely distinguishing between needs and mere whimsical desires opens the windows of our inner home so that the refreshing winds of temperance can drive away the stifling breath of greed. For mindfulness, that timeless jewel of the noble Buddhist path, is the beacon that illuminates the path to true inner freedom. Rooted in the eternal present, it reminds us with its warm light not to lose ourselves in the mazes of the ever-busy mind, but to anchor our consciousness in the wise stillness of the here and now. By paying mindful attention to each breath, each sensation, each thought that arises and dissipates, we reconnect with the immaculate essence of our being. We shed the layers of illusion and attachment that cloud our vision, allowing us to behold with fresh eyes the inexhaustible wonders that surround us. From the captivating smile of a child to the vibrant display of a multicolored sunset, mindfulness immerses us in an ocean of gratitude for the simple miracles with which existence itself indulges us. Each moment shines with the indescribable glory of pure presence. However, our cultivation of mindfulness should not only flourish in the fertile field of our individual being, but also expand into a generous act of compassion towards the vast family of human suffering that is our community. For just as we devoutly tend to the garden of our own enlightenment, how can we not extend those same tender cares towards our brothers and sisters who still lie in ignorance? By extending a compassionate hand to those who need it most, we not only alleviate their burden, but also honor the supreme unity that binds us all in a cosmic tapestry of infinite grace. Let these words resonate within you, allowing the ancient and eternal teachings of the Enlightened One to permeate the deepest fibers of your being. May the noble precepts of mindfulness, gratitude, generosity, perseverance, and financial wisdom interweave into the delicate tapestry of your earthly existence. Just as the sacred lotus blooms majestically and unsullied from the muddiest waters, cultivate within yourself a sanctuary of enduring peace amidst life's tumults. Contemplate the exquisite perfume of each present moment, unraveling the knots of anxiety with the loving practice of mindfulness. Stay with us to make your journey to nirvana more pleasant. The daily noise of life often distracts us from inner calm, the kind that we only achieve when we lower the volume of what comes out of our lips. In today's world, we remain busy with conversations, devices, and networks that fill our days with meaningless chatter. However, Buddhist teachings remind us that there are times to speak and times to keep silent, and that the latter can be as transformative as it is healing. It teaches us to discern when to be silent and thus harness the benefits of the healing power of silence. The question is, When should we let the noise of silence prevail and not our stubborn voice? Fortunately, Buddhism has an answer to this. There are 5 key moments where silence will always be the best option. Today, we will explore these 5 situations through the lens of Eastern wisdom to find guidance in the challenges of living. We will embark on a journey to understand the meaning of keeping silent in these moments, to inspire us to walk with more peace, compassion, and purpose, for inner calm provides answers that the bustle cannot reach. What is silence? You can say it is the absence of noise, but it is much more than something so simple. It is a profound state of being where we can find our true selves beyond words. This is how the wise teacher Thich Nhat Hanh understood it, who compared silence to air and light, indispensable elements for life. For our mind, always active, leaves no space for the inner stillness where our essence resides. Buddhism values cultivating that serene space within ourselves. Silence is the gateway to the peace we carry within, as well as to the mindful awareness of our journey in the world. It represents the opportunity to listen not only to the external, but to the deepest voice of the heart. It is thus a powerful tool for transforming the way we interact with others and face challenges. For only in stillness can we find the answers that guide us to interact from a place of love. Thus, we can learn 5 rules about when to be silent. The first one is, always keep silent when you are angry. Anger is a fiery force that can cloud the mind with its heat. Faced with it, the sages of Buddhism recommend silence as a bridge to serenity. When anger emerges from deep within, our words often reflect its toxicity. In inner quietness, we find refuge to observe without judgment the origins of what stirs us and to understand with compassion. Silence is a protective shield, not only for others but also for ourselves. It allows us to temper impulses with wisdom, cultivating the calm that nurtures mutual understanding. Far from external noise lies the calm that heals wounds and strengthens bonds. Where passion speaks, truth is obscured. In serene contemplation, we find answers that liberate us from suffering. This is the gift of silence, a bridge between the storm and the stillness of the spirit. Always keep silent when you hear gossip and slander. Speaking to each other from a place of love is a gift that requires awareness. Eastern wisdom teaches us to be cautious with others' words, even when they sound appealing. For gossip and slander are poisoned arrows that wound not just one heart but many. Participating in their spread is akin to feeding suffering. In the face of this, silence is a healing option. It allows us to elevate discourse and promote a society of respect. It is time for introspection about our actions and their effects. Silence also inspires reflection in others. It invites us to consider the power of words and to use it to nurture, not to destroy. It is an invitation to purify our speech and bring compassion to each encounter. Always maintain silence during conflicts. Conflict is a natural part of every human relationship. However, how we approach it determines whether it brings us closer together or drives us apart. So please choose calmness amidst the storm. Silence is not the absence of voice, it is the presence of awareness. In stillness, listening without judgment, empathy, and mutual understanding can flourish. It is a pause that clears the mind to recognize our own emotions and creates a space for expression free from fear. Silence enables us to identify common ground beneath the appearances of discord. Thus, hand in hand with compassion, a path is forged towards a just solution that unites us rather than separates us. Always keep silent when you witness the suffering of others, and always keep silent when you are suffering. Pain is part of our journey, just as compassion is a source of relief. This is at the core of Buddhism, and these teachings emphasize the power of silence to express compassion and offer solace. But in the face of others' suffering, words sometimes fall short. Silence expresses a presence that accompanies in non-judgmental listening. It offers a respite for the other to express their truth and find within themselves the dormant strength. The same holds true when the pain is our own. Inner stillness allows us to connect with our indestructible essence beyond sorrows. It reminds us that we are not alone in this passage and that every agony fades like waves on the shore. Silence is the language of the heart when words fail. It speaks of genuine empathy and the understanding that suffering is only temporary. It is companionship in the storms of existence and light to find in calmness the truth that heals. But to effectively understand all that Buddhist wisdom wants to teach us, it is necessary to understand that the essence of silence lies not in being passive or indifferent, but in an intentional choice to create space for deep listening, conscious reflection, and compassionate response. It aligns with principles such as mindfulness, right speech, and compassion. Each of these 5 situations represents moments of intense emotional suffering, whether our own or others. Anger, conflict, gossip, pain, they are an inevitable part of the human experience. Buddhism acknowledges the difficulty of these moments and how our emotions can cloud our judgment and decisions. It is here where the great transformative power of silence lies. By choosing silence, we create a space that allows us to respond to these situations with greater wisdom, empathy, and care for ourselves and others. It gives us a pause to recognize our emotions, understand their origin, and prevent them from dictating our actions or words. It allows us to deeply listen to others without being absorbed in our own feelings. It prevents us from saying things we might later regret and reduces harm in relationships. It breaks the cycles of anger and violence, replacing them with an atmosphere of calm where understanding can take place. Silence is as vital as air and light. Without it, the seeds of our consciousness and compassion cannot sprout. But in the serenity of listening, reflecting, and consciously responding, our true potential for wisdom and understanding flourishes. If my words resonate with you, let their teachings enter your heart and allow yourself to live a fuller life with inner peace. I hope this video has provided the answers you were seeking. Subscribe to the channel to continue accompanying you on your journey towards a more enlightened version of yourself.
Have you noticed some personalities who lead a normal private life tend to be more attractive and curious individuals for the folksy, compared to those who follow a showcasing pattern of how their life is? A life without privacy could lead to major problems that could even ruin your image and reputation. Resolution comes when we know how to balance some things as private and others as public. What are those things that should be kept private from other individuals? What are the advantages of setting a boundary in which your secrets are locked in? Let's see. Number 1, your fears and weaknesses. Having a flaw in your character and having a weakness are 2 different things. We open up our weakness to those belonging to our closer boundary and eventually get deceived by them. Even when you think that they will understand your fears, you are getting it wrong. There are only some exceptional cases when people help you to overcome your mental triggers and fears. Others use this as a tool against you in the times they don't need you anymore, and that will kill your trust towards them. Just know your boundaries, keep your vulnerabilities within yourself, and focus on eradicating those weaknesses and fears you possess. Number 2, your personal goals. Most of the people keep their intentions open to the public, making others lay down their opinions and judgments that make you decide what should be and not be done. There are so many out of your eyes who hesitate to follow their dreams, what they want, because of so many doubts and insecurities created by oversharing their goals to others. Validation is a very important factor tied to your goals, and if anyone says that there is a crack in validation concerning the goal you wanted to achieve, you just give up. In my opinion, keeping your goals within yourself could create an impeccable destiny you have always dreamt for you, and this is also a better way to pull away all the judgments and opinions from others that impact your career choices. Number 3, keeping your friends secret. Well, folks, this is what we often tend to break. Once your dearest friend tells you something that they didn't tell anybody, you have to sustain that faith no matter what. But there are some people who use their friends' personal information as a subject of entertainment and gossip. I tell you, don't even think to do that, because you can have faith in others only when they have faith in you. Keeping your friend's secret within you will enhance your friendship bond, as trust plays a common factor that determines the depth of each relationship. So it's not just keeping your secret intact, but the secret of others also. Number 3, your wealth, your business. Having a wealthy income and great possessions are completely all right, but boasting about your net worth could lead you to several bad implications. Even some people could manipulate you, asking money for no reason just because of the reality you open to them about how wealthy you are. Talking about one's own wealth could create a prideful and arrogant nature within oneself, making people question your humility. Whether it is jealousy of others, manipulation, or just your own humility, being quite flashy about your wealth could create problems. Always keep your financial status within yourself. Number 4, your family affairs. For maintaining a sacred bond with the family, it is crucial not to open up about what happens in your family to anybody out there, not even your close buddies. Don't create a situation where people judge you and your family the way they like and put it as a conversation subject in front of others. If anybody bothers to ask you about your family, just give them a background outline without intruding deep into it. Number 5, your relationship problems. No relationships are perfect. Conflict is a part of every love relationship. Opening the doors for a third party could put your relationship at stake. There might be chances where he or she gossips to others, telling them that they are not seeing the actual image of your love relationship. Even your relationship could be broken before it becomes an endgame by seeking unnecessary opinions and advice from others. So never intend to spill any beans about your relationship. And if there is any problem between you two, to solve it together, that would enable a new light to your relationship. Number 6, your spiritual journey. Some individuals have gone through a stage of spiritual awakening where they tend to change their perspectives and see things in a different view. Sharing your experiences to those who don't connect with you could put you in a position of isolation and anxiety because of the lack of support you get. Never tell your spiritual experiences to not even your favorite people, and you may either tell them once the entire journey is complete. Privacy is a matter that should be prioritized when it comes to self-development. Analyzing the journey of successful people, we realize that setting boundaries becomes a major factor, making them impeccable from others. According to you, what are those personal things that shouldn't go out of your boundaries? This inspirational tale features a renowned Zen master who teaches his young disciple about 5 key situations where embracing silence can lead to greater wisdom, understanding, and motivation in life. Have you ever reached a point where you felt completely overwhelmed or churned up inside, yet had no idea how to regain your inner calm and clarity? Have you ever wondered if true, lasting motivation arises from external stimuli or from cultivating certain inner states of being? If your answer is yes, then this Zen story will be extremely relevant for you. Because today you're going to discover how deliberately embracing silence can radically transform your emotions, motivational energy, understanding, and wisdom in navigating life's twists and turns. The story begins in a peaceful mountain monastery, where people would travel great distances to seek the guidance of a wise old Zen master. Known for his profound yet simple teachings, the Zen master would compassionately share his insights to help others discover the secrets of living a fulfilling and purposeful existence. One day, a curious young disciple approaches the master and asks, "Wise master, what is the key to truly experiencing motivation and meaning in my life?" With a warm smile, the master responds, "My dear child, let me share with you the wisdom of the 5 situations where silence can open the doors to motivation and inner tranquility." Number 1, in times of anger, silence allows clarity to arise. The Zen master explains that when difficult emotions like anger swell up within us, we become blinded, unable to perceive the right path forward. Like a hurricane whirling through the mind, anger clouds our discernment, traps reason behind bars, and imprisons our capacity for wise action. In such moments of brewing inner turmoil, the Zen master advises his student to consciously embrace the healing power of silence. By intentionally creating a quiet space amidst the mental tempest, we allow the storm to run its course and pass. Like the radiant sun peeking through dark clouds, our natural wisdom can then bloom, penetrating the lingering haze of anger. With restored inner spaciousness and vision, we regain the ability to respond to anger-triggering events in a measured, thoughtful way. No longer dominated by difficult emotions, we can consider various perspectives, understand hidden reasons behind actions, and recognize interconnectedness between all beings. Our clear-sightedness guides us towards solutions that resolve, rather than inflame conflict. Wisely sidestepping harmful reactions, we can plant seeds of peace. So the Zen master urges his dedicated pupil, make silence your steadfast ally when visited by anger spirit. Let quietude reign first within, before acting or speaking outwardly. Wait patiently as inner clarity flickers and ignites. When wisdom dawns, you shall know precisely how to proceed for the well-being of all. Number 2, in the midst of conflicts, silence makes room for empathy. During disagreements, tense debates, or arguments, the Zen master stresses the importance of choosing silence over impulsive reaction. In the quiet space that follows, we can turn our focus inwards, allowing understanding and goodwill for others to naturally emerge. We become able to seek compromise and non-violent solutions that are mutually beneficial. Number 3, when grief arises, enter into silent contemplation. Sorrow and loss are inevitable parts of the human experience. The Zen master compassionately explains that in our moments of sadness and mourning, silence helps us fully honor the breadth and depth of our emotions without being overwhelmed by their intensity. By moving into silent reflection, grief can run its course, ultimately leaving space for acceptance, healing. Number 4, in times of uncertainty, still the mind through silence. When standing at crossroads faced with difficult life choices, the mind can be flooded with doubt, ambiguity, and anxiety. The Zen master assures his student that these moments call for the cultivation of inner quiet. For when external inputs are muted, our natural intuition can surface effortlessly to guide the next step forward. Number 5, and even in triumph, let silence keep you humble. As surprising as it seems, the Zen master urges the necessity of silence even when celebrating joyous accomplishments. When we become inflated by self-importance and pride in our worldly victories, we serve our roots to the source of true inspiration. But when we embrace quiet around our achievements, we remain open vessels, humble, grateful, and connected to higher purpose. As the disciple intently absorbs this wisdom, the deeper essence of the teachings dawns upon him. He realizes silence is more than a mere absence of audible noise and distraction. Truly harnessing the power of silence leads to greater self-awareness, purposeful action, understanding, and compassion. Armed with motivation and clarity, the young student now continues on his spiritual path. As he encounters life's joys and adversities, he remembers to turn within to the solace of silence. Over time, he matures into a guide for other seekers, reflecting the timeless wisdom passed on by the Zen master before him. So in closing, friends, the next time your inner world is unsettled, whether by emotional storms, turbulence, grief, or uncertainty, remember the Zen master's counsel. Turning to mindful silence can help restore inner harmony and open alternative passages forward that unite, uplift, and inspire. What does it mean to truly not react? We humans, being emotional creatures, have unraveled several mysteries of the external world to bend it and put it in submission at our fingertips. Yet, we fail to tame the wild, thrashing beast inside us, our emotions. In the process of understanding the physical, we forget to control the universes within ourselves. We cry, laugh, and get angry about anything and everything that triggers us. But what if we learn to tame the explosive beast inside of us? What does it mean to truly not react? And is this state of inner peace attainable? Let us first start by seeing what it means to truly not react to provocation. We can discover this aspect by talking about a well-known story about the great Sastadeva Manusyanam himself, the Buddha. There once was a man who sought wisdom far and wide. Upon learning about the great sage, the Buddha, he went to him and asked the Buddha for advice on how he could control his emotions. The Buddha, in his unending wisdom, sat the man beside him and began to tell him a story. There once was a king who ruled a wealthy and prosperous nation. The king would decide to visit the neighboring kingdom and its leader, who was known far and wide for his wisdom. In honor of the visiting king, the king of the neighboring country would prepare a grand spread of food. The king, while drinking his soup, would notice a fly in it, enter a fit of rage, and ask the servant to replace it. The neighboring king would see this and tell the king, "Your lordship, do not be angered, for it is just a fly and it does not matter." And the king would reply, "Such petulant things I cannot tolerate and they upset me." The neighboring king in response would offer some advice to the king and say, "It is not the fly, but your reaction to it that upset you. The power to control your emotions resides within you. You must not let your emotions take over, but rather the opposite." The king, realizing the merit in these words, would begin to practice not reacting to situations that would usually trigger him. The king would then find himself being able to maintain his composure even in challenging circumstances. This story, however simple it may seem, is about the Buddha showing the importance of controlling our emotions and not letting our emotions control us. It teaches us a highly valuable lesson on learning to control what goes into our mind and what comes out of it. This story also teaches us that, unlike the man, we should learn to not impulsively react to our emotions if we want to maintain our peace. But how do we achieve this state of inner peace and non-reactivity? It would be wise to note that the first step that is to be taken in attaining a true state of peace would be by first truly understanding our inner selves. Why do we love? Why do we hate? Why do we laugh? What makes us react negatively to things? Understanding these aspects about ourselves could make us much better at learning how to react with thought and prompt towards situations that may otherwise affect us adversely. It would be wise to learn that life is truly unsatisfactory, which is a teaching known as samsara in Buddhist philosophy, thus making acceptance of adverse situations in life easier. Good times will come and good times will go. Bad times will come and bad times will go. What is to be achieved by reacting to the temporary to gain something temporary as well? It is better to focus the mind on that which is not impermanent. There is a misconception in the realm of non-reactivity, but that is that non-reactivity should be accompanied by a lack of emotions and empathy. This would be the farthest from the truth. Non-reactivity is the ability to feel what a person is trying to make us feel, but not impulsively acting it out for all to see. The impermanence of this life should lead to the clarity of the mind, for the mind is like water when calm, all is clear, but when stirred up and turbulent becomes lost, clouded and murky. We as humans can choose what we want to react to if we truly focus our intent on why we react to things the way we do. We can introspect and see that everything, including emotions, is impermanent and thus not worth reacting to. There is a true state of peace that is to be achieved only if we truly meditate and seek to understand ourselves with truth and reverence. Seek with purpose and catch a hold of what is permanent. Then and only then can we let go of the impermanent.
Thank you for watching.